In this position in 1991, Grandmaster Nigel Short creates a legendary chess game. He checkmates his opponent with his king. Let's see what happens here. So in the game, Nigel has an incredible position. He has this well-placed queen on f6, controlling the dark squares around the king, while he's also infiltrated on the 7th rank with his rook. While black's rooks are very passive, trying to defend the position, and all black has going for them is this light squared battery. But this knight on f3 is doing a nice job defending. So Nigel continues with pawn to h4. He wants to go pawn to h5 and pawn to h6 to deliver checkmate on g7. So black prevents that by playing pawn to h5. And now in this position, white's pieces still seem incredible, but it's hard to find the knockout blow. What we want to do is play knight to g5 and push the g pawn to crash through, but if we go knight to g5, then we blunder checkmate on g2. And we can't move this rook because then we hang the rook on d7. So what do? Well, in this position, only as of the past couple years have engines found Nigel's idea. The engine used to think this position was a draw, but there's one winning idea in this position. Nigel finds king to h2, an absolutely brilliant idea. The point of Nigel's move is to go king to g3, king to f4, king to g5, and king to h6, and deliver checkmate on g7. And somehow that is very difficult to stop because black's pieces are so tied down. Now, what Nigel thought the best move is bishop to c8. But if you go bishop to c8 attacking the rook, now there's no longer a battery on the light squares, and we can move this knight with knight to g5, and then we can crash through with pawn to g4. But after king to h2, black thought that white just made a waiting move and just wants to shuffle pieces. So he goes rook to c8 and is hoping for a draw. But no, Nigel plays king to g3, and the king is coming in. Black now realizes what white has in mind, and he goes back, rook to e8, but it's too late, king to f4, and now bishop to c8, but it's a couple moves too late, king to g5. And now we're threatening king to h6 and checkmate on g7, so the opponent just resigns the game. Because after king to h7, to prevent king to h6, we would finish with queen takes g6, taking advantage of the rook pinning the pawn, and after king to h8, we have queen to h6, king to g8, and finally, king to f6. And there's no defense against queen to g7. Checkmate.